Hey there, how's it going? It's your host Andrew
And the audio guy Josh.
from Blocks and Talks, where we discuss about the world of LEGO, from reviews of the latest sets to discussions about the hobby itself and even trending news within the community. Now we're in the year 1991. LEGO Pirates has officially set sail and is cruising smoothly down the waters of profits. This year didn't have a whole lot of sets, but still retained the original Pirates charm that we all have come to know and love. And yeah, once again, I'm joined by James. He'll be our guide for basically this entire series at this point. So yeah, how are you doing, James?
Doing great today. How are you doing?
Pretty solid. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first set I'm seeing is set number 1481, Pirates Desert Island. Had 21 pieces, one minifigure, and yeah, it's used priced, or actually, I'm not seeing a original price of how much it sold for retail. I'm not sure if you would know it off the top of your head. But yeah, it's used price nowadays is $18 and its new is $189.
Looking at the set and considering the time period, I would believe this would be in the $3 to $5 range, which back in that time period, it was a steal. I wanted to mention some key aspects to the set. First of all, the pot piece. I know it wasn't too rare, but that pot piece is just really cool. I always thought it was a really cool piece. So the fact to get it in such a cheap set, along with a parrot, a shark, and a white flag, which I'm not entirely sure how common the white flag was, but I believe this might be the only time we see it in the LEGO Pirates line, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very simple set. We'll call it a poly bag. Very basic. It's literally two small little yellow base plates, I think 4x6, to represent sand. I'm sure James mentioned before they never had tan at this point, so yellow was the sand. Just I think 4 or 5 gray stone gray pieces, 2 foliage pieces, a flag, a parrot, pirate, flintlock pistol, a couple gold coins, the black kettle pot, and a shark. Super basic. And yeah, I mean, I would say this set is very supplemental. I would say this is one of the first sets we've talked about up to this point where I would say it's not entirely standalone. You can't really make your own story out of it. It seems very supplemental instead.
This set's just one of the best parts of the LEGO Pirates. The affordable, cheap, yet really beautiful desk pieces in the modern day. You could put this on your desk at work or at home, and it just looks gorgeous and looks right at home. And I can only thank those beautiful golden beaches that they resembled with yellow. It just has a nice character to it. Yeah. Also, speaking of character, I did want to mention his name. This pirate in this set does have 3 names, it looks like, on record. So take it with a grain of salt. Back in the day, his name could have been Labroque or Darwin the Pirate, according to LEGO Legacy, I believe. Or if you look into the LEGO Pirates Barracuda Bay, his name could have also been Port Broadside. So that's just a little bit of fun knowledge for you.
Yeah, it looks like this blue pants, red and white striped tank top, red bandana donning pirate has a triple life. Or maybe he's a triplet.
He could be one of 3 for all we know.
Yeah, 3 pirates. And that leads
now
us...
let's get to the next...
Yep.
Sorry, let's get to the next set. This is Renegade's Wrath. This set's quite charming. Once again, you get another shark. In these images, it looks like it's different colored shark, but I do know it's the same color, just an FYI. You get yellow round cylinders to represent wood, which is a little bit... This one's stretching a little bit. I'm fine with the yellow representing gold accents or the sandy beaches, but 1x1 cylinders to represent wood at the bottom of the raft is a little bit stretching. Yeah, I do believe it's simple. And you do get a pirate flag with First Mate Rummy as the character, or as in LEGO Pirates Barracuda Bay. His name is also Quartermaster Riggins.
Yeah, very simple set. Once again, think of it like the previous set, except it's in the water, just a raft. Basic pirate, couple oars, little Jolly Roger. 38 pieces, came with that 1 minifigure. Retail for $3.25, so always a nice little desk piece, which would put you around 8.5 price per piece cents, and then resale value as per usual the used is around $12 and new $180. And it's interesting because something I did omit in the previous episode, but something we'll see in a lot is that across like regions, there's different names for a lot of different things, like the sets and like characters and stuff. So here, the alternate name for Renegade's Raft is also Pirate Castaway. I'm not sure if you have some insight as to why there's some like alternate names.
Yeah, I think so. It's all based off marketing, and I couldn't tell you the exact reason why. However, Lego must have realized that Pirates Castaway would be a better name for Europe and the rest of the world compared to the United States market, calling it Renegade's Raft. It's interesting to look at it, and it's interesting why Lego chose these choices, but I love it nonetheless.
Yeah, very simple. These two sets, they just do their job well. Simple, effective, supplemental. And from there, we're actually going to start building a little bit bigger with 6259 Broadside's Brig, or also known as Governor Broadside's Prison. And by the name, I guess you can tell what it is. It comes with 68 pieces, 3 minifigures, which is Governor Broadside, an Imperial Bluecoat, or I'm not sure what they're actually called, and a pirate in jail. Retail for $8.75, which would put you around 13 cents price per piece. And the resale value today is around $40 used and 166 new. So you want to just describe what we're looking at?
Yeah, no. So these guys, first of all, I just want to make sure everyone has it on a record. These guys are kind of Imperial Guard. Imperial Soldiers, correction. The red coats are called Imperial Guards. Interesting how they say that instead of just blue coats or red coats, but interesting nonetheless. So Broadside's Brig, this set, unless you're a blue coat completionist or a pirate completionist, I highly actually not recommend this set. It's kind of ugly. I gotta be honest. No pirate says ugly, but when you compare this to all the recent ones we've seen, it doesn't really look that great.
Yeah, I feel like it's just missing a lot of charm. It's very basic. It's like very skeletal fortress pieces. It stays true to like the yellow and white scheme with some like the broken bricks showing through, but it's just too basic. Like there's not a lot of story to it. You just get a very standard prison cell. Outside that, just a couple archers and stuff. There's no cannons. There's no like animals. There's no like supplies or like anything. It just feels very bare bones. I think that's the best way to put it.
This set would probably be a great battle pack if you did own the Caribbean Clipper we checked out in the last episode, just because you get a sergeant/captain figure, which the Caribbean Clipper was actually lacking if you don't count the governor. You get another soldier, and you do get a pirate, technically, in quotations, but he has blue and white striped torso, which would work pretty well as a crew member of the Caribbean Clipper. That's the only recommendation we have for this set. Also, though, I will mention that beautiful printed castle wall element. And that yellow with red brick. We saw those previously as well, but it's just very beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like this could also be a supplemental piece to like the Imperial Fortress, or I forgot what it's called, the Fortress one.
Outer Fortress.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you could find a way to mod this into it, but outside of that, yeah, it just feels very lackluster. It's like it was meant to be part of something bigger.
I want to mention real quick because I forgot. This is one of the few pirate sets that is not on a blue base plate. If you look closely, it's actually on a gray base plate, a light gray, which is very interesting because it makes you think, is this supposed to be within a town that we never got? Or like, why would it be gray and not yellow or blue? I just think that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I'm guessing, like you said, I'm guessing it's meant to represent stone. So yeah, it feels incomplete, like it was meant to be part of a bigger structure or something. I guess we'll never know. And then set number 6267, Lagoon Lockup. 193 pieces, 5 minifigures. Retail for $29, which is 15 cents price per piece. Interesting resale values, actually. $95 used and $700 new. And you want to just break it down once more?
Yeah, this set is one of my favorites, the whole Blue Coat line. It's right up there with Caribbean Clipper and Outer Fortress. This thing is gorgeous, and it holds a lot of cool things that we never saw again in LEGO Pirates. For example, the tavern aspect. Lagoon Lockup has a tavern on that left-hand side of the screen, where it has those blue and red awnings, and you can see the captain or general figure holding a chalice, if you will. And I just think that's really interesting because we never saw a tavern ever again, even though they're so prominent in pirate media. Another thing I want to point out is that we get two very iconic characters here. We get Captain Redbeard on a boat, with that beautiful red and white cloth sail element. This is the first time we're seeing that piece. It's not the last time, I promise you that. And we also get, sorry, 1 minute. We also get Bosun Will Cavendish, which is one of the characters from the comic book, The Golden Medallion. This is actually the only set he appears in that is not the comic book set. The way you can tell it's him is based off the classic smiley face and the fact that he's wearing all red. It's the only figure to ever exist with that combination.
Wow. Look, so this set has a lot of lore to it. And like you said, it just is very complete. It's like a blue base plate with a black raise. So I guess like the black is supposed to represent like the deck built on top. And like you said, on the left-hand side, you got like a golden tavern with some awning. On the top of it, you got the white fortress with the cannon, some space for like some soldiers to stand over. And to the right, you got like a little prison cell along with like the boat. And just to be clear, it's not like an actual boat size, it's like the little baby ones. And I feel like this is an upgraded broadsides brig, the set we just talked about before. It feels like this one's a more complete version. It has the jail, it has like the white fortress on top, but it has more life to it, you know what I'm saying? Like there's an actual story behind it.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I love that small indent that the set has. You look closely, those black plates kind of indent towards the prison cell, which suggests this like a dock suggestion.
Right.
And I just absolutely love this set. It's fantastic, and you do get one of those massive blue coat flags, which this is actually the last time we'll be seeing that piece with that printing on it, at least in the Lego Pirates Wave. The previous 2 times was the Caribbean Flipper and Eldorado Fortress. Yeah, this is the last time you get that big blue coat printed flag, and that piece is very expensive in the aftermarket, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I took a look at it after you mentioned it last episode. Oh boy, it is hard to find one that isn't scratched, yellowed, or have the clips broken. It is hard. And at a reasonable price.
And those clips break so easy. I have never had one break on me, luckily, and the best trick I recommend to anyone who's building these sets or whatever is don't flip it in like a typical clip. Instead, slide it from top down on the pole. That way your clips won't break and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot. The last thing I forgot to say is there's just a palm tree on the side there. A little bit of shrubbery.
What a classic element. Also, I did want to mention real quick that this set in Europe and the rest of the world is named Soldier's Tavern, which once again reinforces the fact that this is like a tavern inn type of thing, which is just really cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of story behind it, just from the title and how like the box art suggests. Like, I'm already seeing like a narrative to it. And I think something that all the pirate sets will see is that there's a certain charm to it all. Like the box art, there's always a story. There's something set up from the title to the art to building it and everything. It just looks like it's ready to be like told and played with, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's a story in a box that we just don't really get anymore these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with this short theme is actually the last set of this year, 6273 Rock Island Refuge, also known as Port Jamaica. Came with 381 pieces, 7 minifigures, retail for $66, which would put you around 17 cents price per piece. Pretty crazy resale values, $220 used and $1,300 new. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, those resale values are solely because of that base plate, in my opinion. That base plate is just absolutely gorgeous. We saw it previously with a different printing, I dare say, but we saw it previously in Eldorado Fortress, and the same base plate was also seen in the Dragon Master's Castle Waves. However, this one is a special print because it has the water on the ground and those green and gray accents, which just sells that that jungle island type vibe that we want from this theme. And that base plate is just absolutely stunning. If you get one in good condition, that is. You also get a smaller blue base plate on the side. I believe it's 16 by 32. It's the same one we saw right above in Lagoon Lockup. And having that extra base plate connected to the raised one just gives you a really big landscape to play with. You get a rowboat with the blue and white sail this time. Same element from the previous set, just in blue and white. And this sail element is exclusive to this set, which makes that sail very expensive. In good condition, that sail will run you roughly about $80 in the aftermarket, just because it's exclusive to this set, and everyone loves the blue coats. You also get a raft, which I would say is one of the best rafts they made. They use the 2x2 round cylinder bricks and not reddish brown, correction, the old brown has like the wood pillars at the bottom, uses a black base, there's a little bit of ore attached to it. And then getting to the actual base itself, we have a beautiful dock on the front of it. It has a cannon perched on the left and a crane on one of the towers. Funny enough, it's just like Eldorado Fortress. There was no winch brick, if you will, at this time. So the crane was actually operated just by like a string tied to a 1x1 plate, and you just had to move the plate around to extend or lower the crane. We get two beautiful rope bridge elements. We get some rigging, some rat lines. You get two of them in this set compared to the last pirate set, Forbidden Island only had one of them. You get a big pirate flag, which is always nice to get. Not as rare or expensive as the blue coat ones, but it's still always beautiful to get. And that's just the set itself, let alone the figures. This set, you get a ton of minifigures, a whole scene to play out. And what I really love about it is the monkey. Of course, we get another monkey, which is fantastic. And you do get the character Lady Anne Anchor, which she only came in the Black Seas Barracuda previously, so it's nice to get her again in this set.
Oh, yeah. And I would argue that this is kind of like the answer to the Lego El Dorado Fortress. This is like the Pirates version of their fortress. Very simple, like rough, rugged, lots of black bricks everywhere to suggest that it's like kind of complete, not really, because, you know, pirates, they're always out and about doing what they got to do. Yeah. I mean, just from you explaining like the, what's it called? The specialized pieces, I can see why it's so expensive. Like, there's a certain charm to it. Like the fact that they clipped a extra base plate to it just adds so much more playability and like expansion to it. It's not just an island, you know, there's still endless water, which suggests and kind of builds on that theme. Like this is an endless world and there's always more out there.
One thing I really love about this set is the suggestion it provides. Like you mentioned, it kind of looks like a ruin, like a little bit more rubble look. And it makes you think, it gets your imagination started. Like, where did this come from? Did the pirates actually build this themselves? Or did this used to be a blue coat fort at one point and it just went into ruin? Or it just makes your mind kind of wander. And I love that about this set.
Yeah. And something cool is like there's a lot of open studs and spots all over the set. So with all these supplemental sets or maybe just spare bricks lying around your collection, you can always expand and build on these sets. It's like these sets are meant to, or not meant, but they're capable of expansion and customization however you want.
And it's great because, yeah, like expanding or whatever, this set looks fantastic next to Forbidden Island we saw in the previous wave. And like I said, having that 16 by 32 blue base plate connected to the raised one, it gives you that little bit of breathing room. So you can actually put Forbidden Island right next to those base plates, and it kind of creates a small channel just to have a boat go around. It's a fantastic scene. The colors all match, and I feel like Lego did that intentionally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was a pretty short and sweet line. Covered the job. And yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. In next episode, we'll be talking about the year 1992. It's interesting because now the British Empire's redcoats are entering the battlefield, and with it, they're going to show off their imperial might with some really, really cool sets. Can't wait for that. And yeah, just want to thank you again for joining us, James.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Yeah, I just took a look at like the sets for next year, and they look exciting, especially the trading posts. Can't wait.
Beautiful set. It's an absolutely stunning set.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Blocks and Talks. Let us know what you think, and yeah, hope you enjoy and see you next time. Take care, everyone.